This is the Reports tab. You can access the Employee Efficiency Report here. Have you ever wondered what your employees are up to? Well, let's take a look. This is the Employee Efficiency Report. This will tell you how well your employees are performing on your projects as a group and individually. Let's go deeper. I want to start by pointing out that this report only populates up-to-date data if you tell it what portions of the project are complete. This is the data from the summary report that feeds the Employee Efficiency Report. It's sent to the Employee Efficiency Report when you check these boxes and click refresh right here. Your field manager needs to check off these boxes periodically as tasks complete to keep the summary report and the Employee Efficiency Report up to date. Once the summary report is up to date, this report will be up to date. This tells you the actual average labor rate on your project. If you recall, when we set up your project, we included the average labor rate that you used when you estimated your project. We use this number to multiply by your hours per task to establish an estimated budget per task. The task budget divided by the employee's actual wage tells us the employee's time limit for completing the task profitably. We use this for scheduling. So over the entire project from start to finish, this is the actual labor rate for your crews on site. It will fluctuate as workers of different wage levels enter and leave the project. It's a good number to keep an eye on, as you'll probably want to hover around the estimated average labor rate. While I've had success on projects running at an average labor rate higher than my estimated average labor rate, if you can get below your estimated average labor rate with a good crew, you can capture a little extra margin on each task. This report will tell you if you're achieving that. This is your overall percent of efficiency for all labor on your project. This is the allotted budget for the work that's been completed to date. This is the actual labor cost for the work that's been completed to date. Here are the allotted budget hours for the work that's been completed to date. Here are the actual hours for the work that's been completed to date. If you give a worker a raise, that should be because they are earning the company more money, and you can afford to pass some of those earnings back to the employee. If you give workers raises and they earn you less, you're guiding your company into a hole. This number here tells you how your workers are performing against your estimated average labor rate. The actual average labor rate is $27.91 per hour. Your crew is working at the level of a $34.72 per hour worker. That means that collectively, they're producing at the level of about a $35 an hour electrician and only charging you $28 per hour. Down here we can dive a little deeper into the productivity of our field crew. These are our individual workers. This is their classification. This is their productivity rate. So the top three in green are beating their estimated installation times by 14.8%. The bottom three in red are taking 17% more time to install their work than estimated. These are the hours that have been scheduled to them to date. These are the hours they've used to complete the tasks that have been scheduled to them to date. This is their current wage. This is the wage level they are working at on this project. This is the average wage level they have worked at on all of the projects they've completed for the company. Since this is the only project we're tracking this crew on, The lifetime wage equivalent matches the project wage equivalent, but will adjust as they complete more projects. This is a great tool for determining who's eligible for a merit increase, bonus, or who might need training. These workers didn't make their commitment on their tasks on this project, and we ought to fire them, right? Wrong. Once you put tasks with time limits in front of workers, something really mysterious is going to happen. Things are just going to start getting done on time. If they don't, one of two issues will be going on. Either they encountered an obstacle that was not foreseen in the estimate, or they need training on a certain type of installation. I've never been unable to get an employee into the green that honestly wanted to succeed with the company. I have had to terminate some that just did not care to succeed, who were only there to collect a paycheck and enjoy the social experience every day by entertaining the ones who did want to succeed. Fortunately, the latter are very rare. Most employees really want to succeed, and if you give them the opportunity through good organization, they'll hit a home run every time. Most likely your hours are fat to compensate for disorganization. If you can just provide a decent amount of organization and get the right amount of training on site, employees will easily beat your hours. Next, we'll take a look at the job summary report. You can access it here. This is the job summary report. This covers all of the phases of construction. They're listed here along with all of the tasks. This is a snapshot of the first two phases of construction. Here are your tasks. These are the hours allotted for each task by estimate data. These are your estimated hours converted to dollars by multiplying the estimated hours by average labor rate. These are the hours that have been scheduled against the tasks, and this is the dollar value of those tasks based on actual labor costs of the workers that are assigned to these tasks. These are the actual hours that have been accumulated against the tasks, and this is the dollar value of those tasks based on actual labor costs of the workers that were assigned to these tasks. Red numbers here tell you that you're either exceeding your hours or dollars. You should view this report daily. If you can catch tasks going over budget from your office, you can get a call out to the field and see if you can solve the problem before it takes your entire phase over budget. If you accumulate any overtime costs, they'll be shown here. These are your supervisor hours and cost to date. If you're using the margin or material offsets, your hours and costs will accumulate here. This will show you your percent of completion based on hours consumed. Obviously, this task went way over budget. If you want to see who worked on this task, you can click on the task name here. As tasks complete, your field manager needs to check tasks off as complete here and click refresh. That will reconcile your completion percentages here. This will give you your comparison of hours used to dollars spent, and this will give you your phase completion percentage for billing.